Hi everyone. Welcome to Chai and Chat with Neha. Today we are starting this new series where I'm going to talk such amazing people and what they're doing in life and how they're contributing to making the world a little better. And for the very first episode I have with me here is Hina. Hi Hina, welcome to Chai and Chat with Neha. How are you today?
Thank you so much. I am good. It's the long weekend, so just relaxing, enjoying a little bit of free time.
Nice, nice. So, we are here to talk about Pink Burfi. So, before we go any further on what you do and how it came along, pretty much, what does Pink Burfi actually mean, and how did you come up with this name?
So it's kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Basically, I wanted my daughter to be super excited and looking forward to all Indian festivals. And what that meant for me was that when she started to turn about 2.5, 3, I really like that's when she really started to understand things. I wanted her to get as excited about Holi and Diwali as she was about Christmas or even Easter. And so I came up with this idea, which I'll go into a little bit more detail later. But then it started like, what do I name it? And I went to my own childhood, trying to see what were the memories that I really cherished from there. And I always remembered Pink Burfi. So I'm from Delhi. And in Delhi, the pink burfi is actually the coconut burfi. And I would always tell my dad to go ke pink burfi leke aana. So pink burfi sort of came about from that memory of childhood, like the sweetness of that double meaning space. And yeah, so I decided that I was trying to create memories for parents for their children. And that was my memory from my childhood that I wanted to hold on to.
Wow, such an amazing story behind it. And obviously, I mean, we all agree to this. Like, who doesn't want to go back to those memories where we were like truly, truly happy
Mm-hmm.
and without thinking about too much what's happening in the world around us, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Just going to the, memory lane.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's really important, to kind of remember your own childhood when
Yes.
you're trying to do things with your kids, because you rarely remember like all the bad stuff, and you surely like your parents must have scolded you, and they must have had a lot of those tantrum moments, but the sweet things are really what you remember.
Yes.
And that is sort of intertwined in me wanting my daughter to also remember her childhood as something that is sweet, culturally rich, and something that is family oriented. So like that I hope that by doing what I'm doing, she remembers that my mom was there, my dad was there, these were the things I did with them.
Right. And I think as parents, and especially immigrant parents, this is what we are struggling with, right? Like how to you said it so rightly here, like how to bring our own traditions, what we used to do back in India, and it was so normal there, right? Because we obviously like how Halloween here is, right? For them it comes very naturally,
Yeah.
but how to bring those memories that we spent with our families. Diwali is like obviously is one of the biggest
Hmm.
festivals that we have, and we buy new clothes and we have like we had to write essays around it, so that's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
But that's such a nice thing. So please tell me like what kind of products you have and how it is helping, bringing
Yeah.
or bridging the gap, if I may.
Yes. So it all started like basically when COVID happened.
Okay.
My daughter was 2.5 when it kind of hit all of us, and Diwali was coming soon enough once we were all in the lockdown phase and stuff. And I was really looking for something that she could do that was age appropriate. I feel like there are a lot of products out there that are, they are culturally rooted. There are lots of activities for the kids to do, but they're just slightly older. The skill sets and the mental patience and capacity of a 3-year old is very different and very unique. They're still learning how to like do things with their hands. They're still trying to figure out, you know, colors, shapes, and the activities don't actually need to be very complicated. That was something I realized, because as soon as it became very complicated, my daughter would just sit there by my side and not necessarily be involved. So I wanted her to be actively involved. So I started putting together these activity boxes, and you would have about like 4 to 5 small, simple activities that were sort of focused on a festival. The first box I put together was for Holi, and then I did the other big one that I did obviously was Diwali, because those two are, our primary festivals, as you mentioned. But I also thought that this kind of exploration needed to go like more than just Holi and Diwali. So I've put together like boxes that were Krishna based. So that would be like a Janmashtami thing. Or if you as a family are celebrating a Ganesh Chaturthi, I put together that. I also put together just an India box, Kids kids don't know about India either, So I
Right.
had little flashcards in it. So that's sort of how it started.
Okay.
And like I said, each box would have everything that you needed. It was very important for me that moms and dads felt comfortable. They could just open the box and just get started. A lot of activities sometimes say like clue not included, or like paints required, and those just sit there for longer.
Right.
So I wanted everything in it. So everything goes in it, and then it's ready to go. And then once, over the course of years, like, and everybody's now back in their classrooms, I started getting a lot of requests that, hey, can you just do this one activity? But I want like 25 of them so that I can take them to the classroom. So that's been a little bit of a natural evolution, where now I'm focusing a little bit more on creating classroom activities as well. Because I think in this day and age, people want to share their culture as well.
Yes.
So more parents are going and encouraged to go to classrooms, read books, do a little craft. And that's why I've been putting those together again, hopefully making moms' lives easier. Nobody's like frantically rushing around.
Yes.
And, just ordering from Amazon is great, but
Hmm.
you end up with like 200 stickers. Like, you didn't need 200, you needed 25.
Yes.
So that's also the goal, to have less waste and just
Mm.
have the right amount of paints, right amount of supplies, easy peasy.
Nice. And so you mentioned like you have several kits. So is it subscription based or is it just like you get one and then that's it? Like whatever you want.
It's not subscription based. I've honestly, as a business person, trying to figure out if that's an evolution I want to do. I have considered it. Maybe in the future it'll become subscription based, because I think there are people who are looking for these crafts on like a regular basis. But no, it's right now just order as you need.
Okay, nice. Yes, and I think what you mentioned before as well, like I've seen even my at my son's school, they encourage us to share something from our own traditions, or the
Mhm.
festivals we want to share. So that this particular kit would be like so
Mhm.
easy, right? Just to take and let every kid enjoy and understand, right? Because what we are here, we are understanding their culture. So it's a nice thing to just introduce, and I've seen so many people like loving Diwali time, like not just like
Absolutely.
Indians, right? Like but people from here as well, they're like, oh, we love the food, we love the decoration,
Hmm.
so why not, by this means we can start teaching our kids also like a different, festivals, and obviously we are also learning different other festivals from other kids as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The excitement my daughter has for Easter, it's kind of insane, because in the city that we live in, it has like a big Easter hunt, and it's just very interactive. So I just want the same kind of enthusiasm for Holi. And it's actually tough. The tougher part is because Holi just happens to be on any day, right? It could be on a
Right.
Monday, it could be, you could get lucky, and it could be on a Saturday. And I personally have been this close so many times to just being like, Arya, like not today, But then I'm like dragged myself. But the joy that you see with her, like playing with Gulal or just running around the park, and slowly, it's like, more and more friends are joining in.
Yes.
So when you see that kind of excitement in families, and it's not just Indian families, which is the best part. So to me, that just means that it's the right thing to do. The world is ready for it. The kids are really getting excited about it. So why not?
Yes, yes. And I mean, it's such a noble idea, right? Right now, like if we look in, when I asked you about the subscription based model, right? I know, there are some brands who are doing those models, and
Hmm.
I mean, they are like nice arts and crafts area. Like I have done that for my son as well.
Hmm.
They send all the kits and everything, but then I realize obviously it's not related to, our culture and things around it. So this is such a nice idea. Like I loved it. And look at both of us. We both are twinning right now.
We are definitely on the Pink Burfi vibe, I must
Yes.
say.
Yes. It's yeah. It was like so unintentional, and all of a sudden we see each other with the same color.
Yes.
Right. So far, have you faced any challenge or anything that you so sometimes we make things how we think people would accept, and then we see challenges and you take the feedback. So have you faced anything of that sort?
Absolutely. I think challenges have been like at two different levels for me. One is when I started out, my daughter was in that age frame, right? So I could
Hmm.
just test things with her, test it with her friends, and I could see, like really, I thought like that she could just blow a balloon, but she really doesn't have the strength to do it. So I've had to like modify some of my crafts based on that. I've definitely gotten feedback. The world is, if you go out there, you get like four different kinds of glue, right? And
Right.
so you are like, oh, which one is better? Which one's less messy? Because, some parents are kind of okay with kids getting a little bit messier. And I've sort of had to adjust my product itself, that oh, maybe double sided tape is okay and it just works as a sticker for people to stick things. So it's really been in the details, because I'm sure, since you have kids, like kids just get very excited about doing crafts, and you sometimes end up with this weird stuff and you're like, what is this? And then they like decode, and it was not really the final product for them, it was the process. So I've had to kind of balance my own wants that, hey, it should be like a beautiful thing that you can put up, but did she really have fun in it? So stuff like that. It's been encouraging actually to hear feedback. So I always welcome that, because if I hear that, I can actually make something better, right?
Right.
And the other challenge really has been in terms of manufacturing it.
Mm.
So I started really small. I did everything at my kitchen counter. It always used to be a mess, which was great, right? That's how all businesses start. But I did that for a long time just because, my boxes had like paper crafts, felt crafts, like, like multiple things going together. And it was very challenging to figure out a manufacturer who'd put it together for me. So now I'm feel comfortable enough where I've tried and tested, that I can actually like look at manufacturers doing these things for me. I also feel comfortable that, I don't need, I'm able to order large quantities, because when you're still testing things, you're a little bit hesitant in committing to 500 units or something. But now I guess the recent challenge is the tariffs, and like, how are we going to get product in the country? Which is like a whole separate economics situation. But it's definitely something that is top of mind right now for everyone. But again, it's just like, I'm sure if this business had started 5 years ago, there'd be another similar challenge.
For sure.
So it's just a learning curve. I'm learning as I go along and improving as I get there.
Nice. So your products, they currently range from 2 to 5. Is that correct?
Yes, so I would say that with assistance, like a 2 year old could definitely do it. And my daughter is now 7, and I every single year I've given her the Diwali box, and it's been interesting to watch her kind of evolve. So earlier she'd require a little bit more like support and like guidance on things, and by like 5 or 6 she was really like doing this stuff all by herself. So yeah, it's the ideal age range is about like 2.5 to about 6. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And like we've heard from you about what were your challenges and how you have come up. with the solutions for that. So if somebody is starting a new business,
Mm-hmm.
right now you have been a business owner for a while, what is one message that you want to tell them to encourage them to come up and whatever they are thinking?
I think don't try to be a perfectionist. It's really hard. Sometimes you just have to let it out there. I'm still developing new products and I have to keep reminding myself of this thing, because what you might have as the final vision is not what everyone else has. But if you really have like a good idea, a good mission that you're trying to accomplish, just get it out there, test it, do it again, see how it is. And the feedback that you get is probably going to help you maybe even redefine what you thought was the perfect product.
Awesome, awesome. This is such a nice advice because I think as human beings, we get stuck in the nitty gritty thing
Oh
and we
yes.
don't really focus on, let's get the feedback from actual people who are going to use that.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely such an amazing advice. And so if somebody has to order from you, they can go to your website and can order directly from there.
Yes, absolutely. Website is pinkburfi.com, and most products, yeah, at this point most products are like all ready to ship. So, absolutely.
So is it only in US or Canada, Mexico as well?
No, just the US.
Just US.
Shipping costs are very high. That's why.
Okay.
I mean, I would love for it to go everywhere, but the shipping costs really are cost prohibitive.
Okay.
So, the US for
Hopefully,
now.
yes, hopefully soon. Because, I mean, talking to you, just understanding where you're coming from and what the box has,
Mm-hmm.
I can see a sweet little box behind you.
Yes.
And I mean, it's very encouraging, like for us as an immigrants, and like how to put our kids into the same, like excitement as we used to have as kids for
Absolutely.
these festivals. So yes, I am excited for it. There will definitely be one box order for my son because I really want him to get used to of these things. But yes, I hope and I wish all the very best for
Thank
such an exciting, venture, and like hope to see you flourishing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, it was really nice talking to you, Hannah, and I hope you have a great
Thank you so
rest of your
much
day.
to you. Thank you so much.